Hi, seventh graders. Hope you are doing well. I am here for your April book talk and a few announcements coming at you before we get to today's books. The first one is our spring reading challenge going on between now and May 21st. It is out there on Schoology and our library homepage, and it's a bingo card that I hope you will play and send back my way by downloading to Notability and dropping in your email or in a Schoology message back to me. There's lots of options on this bingo card. Maybe you're reading for class, reading for fun, a combination thereof, but lots of different ways to participate on this bingo card. And we've got drawings for prizes that'll be happening during that last week of May. Everything on this card, from reading graphic novels to poetry, visiting the library, reading a 350-page book, maybe even just reading the captions of a favorite movie or TV show. So find lots of ways to connect with reading this spring. Fill out the card, send it to me, and good luck on winning some great prizes here this spring. Announcement-wise, we are having a book fair in person, which is exciting, the week of May 10th through the 14th. There will be more information coming your way really soon, so just know that that'll be coming up, and I'll have some info coming to you in the near future. We also are asking that all students are getting their library books and materials back to us by Friday, May 28th. That includes things that maybe are still overdue from last year, or if you have things that are overdue from your elementary school days, we're wanting to clear off those records for you and get things back to where they need to be. If you have lost books, check under your beds, in your cars, maybe even just taking care of it by either paying for those materials or talking with me or Mrs. Kump about reading off those fines. We want you to go into summer vacation without having to get those emails about missing books and materials, and getting all of that as a clean record before you head off into summer break. Today, all the books I'm sharing with you are focused on a couple of different themes by request of your teachers. And I wanted to just share with you, before we get into the book talk, where some of the categories come from off of our library catalog. I hope that the catalog is something that you're using when you're looking for a book to read. If you haven't visited this yet or haven't done so lately, a reminder that on the library homepage, the library catalog is located here, and you can visit it. Every couple of weeks we're changing this top banner. Right now we've got great historical fiction books that you can take a look at. When you click on them, it gives you information with summaries and reading levels and things like that. Right underneath are our topic buttons, or better known for us as genres. So if you know that you love a certain type of book, that's a way to go and read those. Underneath it are our collections. And the books that I've pulled for us for our book talk today come from our Overcoming Obstacles collection. So these are books that are focusing on characters maybe going through some tough stuff, coming out the other side feeling stronger. They've made it through some things that were difficult and have found a way to carry on with their lives. So this Overcoming Obstacles, we've got 50 books in that collection, and you'll find great fiction and nonfiction located there. The other category, or collection I should say, that I'm pulling from today is from our LGBTQ plus category and collection. And we've got 63 books, and we're continuously adding to these collections. As we add new books to our library, we continue to add to those. So in my book talk today, I'm also sharing with you stories where characters are experiencing those themes, those relationships. Anyway, if those are either of those collections are of interest to you, you may want to take a look. I'd encourage you to look through any of these collections because it's just another way to do some great shopping and browsing for things to read. It's very similar to walking into a bookstore and seeing tables of books that have been pulled for a particular reason, based on a theme or a character, And it just might be another way for you to do some shopping for books that you'd want to read. With that, let's get to some great books we have in our library. This is one of our brand new books, hot off the shelves, Amal Unbound by Aisha Saeed. This story is realistic fiction. It's about a girl who is living in Pakistan, and in her village, life is pretty ordinary. It's quiet, and she likes it that way. She doesn't have any complaints, really. For Amal, she's busy pursuing her dream of becoming a teacher. That's what she's working toward. But her dreams are really shattered one day when she finds out she has to stay home from school to take care of her siblings. Let's take a look at this book trailer to learn a little more about this realistic fiction story. I'm only a few chapters into this book, and I can tell you already I am absolutely loving this story. I love Amal's character. I can't wait to find out how she is going to get past some of the tough stuff in her life. If you've ever had a dream and had that dream feel like it's just snatched away from you, you will relate to her problem at the beginning of the story. Paper Things by Jennifer Jacobson is realistic fiction as well. The story of a girl and her older brother who have been living with a legal guardian ever since their mother passed away 4 years ago. And they promised their mom when she passed away that they would do two things. The first was that they would always stick together, no matter what. And the second was that Ari promised she would go to the middle school for gifted students. It was really important to Ari and Gage's mom that Ari go to this school because Ari's very bright, she's a hard worker, and Ari's mom really wanted to make sure that she followed through on that. That has been relatively easy to do, to keep that promise up until recently. Gage has decided he is absolutely over living with this legal guardian. He doesn't want that anymore. He's 19. He has decided, you know what? Ari, you and I can make our way on our own. Let's live our own life. They start living all over the place. They live for a few nights with Gage's girlfriend. They live for a couple of nights on one of Gage's friends' couches. They end up in a homeless shelter for a couple of days. They're basically couch surfing. They're all over the place from here to there, and Ari's grades begin to slip for obvious reasons. When you don't have that consistent home to be in, when you're not sure where your next meal is going to come from, this story of homelessness and trying to keep up appearances is exactly what Paper Things is all about. Try out this book by Jennifer Jacobson to find out how Ari and Gage are going to keep things together. It's Not Like It's a Secret by Misa Segura is a fabulous story of 16-year-old Sana, who is really used to keeping secrets, and she feels like she has too many of them. Some of them are small, no big deal. Others, though, are really big. One of the big secrets she's keeping right now is that she's pretty darn sure her dad is having an affair, cheating on her mom, and she has found that out and doesn't know what to do with that information. She doesn't want to hurt her mom, and so she's keeping it bottled up inside. The other big secret that she doesn't know what to do with, and she can barely even admit it to herself, is she's pretty sure she has a crush on her best friend, who's a girl. Well, Sana and her family moved to California, and she thinks, you know what? Maybe it is time to finally be honest, unload some of these big secrets. And she thought the hardest thing was going to be to tell those secrets. Turns out, that's not the hardest thing at all. Those secrets come out, and that is only the beginning of what makes things so tough. Read It's Not Like It's a Secret. You won't regret it. The Phantom Twin by Lisa Brown is a graphic novel that I sat down and read in one sitting just the other day, and I thought it was fabulous. This is a story of, it's a fictional story, I should say. This is not a true story, but it is based in, some true connections and some true stories about those who've been involved in circus performance over the years. Isabel and Jane are the Peabody sisters, and they are conjoined twins. They are connected to one another, and they are a traveling carnival freak show. People come from all around to see them and other freaks, as people like to call them. They want to see what it looks like for these two sisters to be actually connected to each other. Well, a surgeon has told them, I can separate you, and you will be two separate people for the first time in your lives, and you can live independent of one another. And the two sisters, one of them thinks it's a great idea. The other one is more hesitant. And Isabel is the one who thinks this can't work out okay. Jane is absolutely certain it'll be just fine. And in the surgery, Jane dies. Isabel is left alone. She's disfigured, and she's haunted by her sister who's now gone. Read this story, The Phantom Twin, to find out a little bit more. Can Isabel build a new life that is truly her own now that her phantom twin sister is gone? The Assignment by Liza Weimer is a really interesting story because it begs the question, would you speak up for what is right? That's right there on the cover. I think we all can relate to the beginning of this story because we've all been sitting in a classroom. We've all sat through getting an assignment where we've thought to ourselves, this is really not something I feel like doing. But this one takes it a step further. It asks, what if you had to do an assignment that you knew deep down was really not right? Let's take a look at this book talk to learn more.
Hi everyone, my name is Selena. Today's book talk will highlight The Assignment by Liza M. Weimer. This novel in audiobook format can be found on the Cloud Library app. Logan and Kate are horrified when their favorite teacher, Mr. Barley, appoints the entire class with a controversial assignment. Students are tasked to form arguments in favor of the Nazis during the historical Wannsee Conference of 1942. During this conference, many officials of the Nazi Party decided and debated on which techniques would ultimately dispose of the Jewish population, known as the final solution. Logan and Kate refuse to participate in this assignment and try to seek an alternative. This novel is compelling and emotional as it is based on true events. Themes of humanity, morality, and anti-Semitism is found throughout the entire novel. It is hard to listen to as many notorious Nazis are quoted expressing hatred. In this classroom context, it is almost as if the students are justifying genocide. This novel truly makes you question what you would do in this type of situation. This book is perfect to read and discuss with others. I would recommend this book to teens, parents, and adults. This book can be a learning lesson for those of all mature ages. Thank you so much for watching. Please come back for more.
As I read this book, I couldn't help but want to talk about it with other people. I think that this teen who gave this book talk was exactly right. It's a book you're going to want to discuss with others. Read the assignment. Try to decide where you would stand on this particular assignment. And it was inspired by a true story that you'll also learn about in the book. Dairy Queen by Catherine Gilbert Murdoch. If you're looking for a sports story, this is about 15-year-old DJ who lives on a dairy farm in Wisconsin. And when her dad hurts his hip, she is unfortunately forced to drop out of her volleyball and basketball teams to fill in for him on the farm. In the process, her grades start to slide. She's giving up her chance toward a college scholarship because she's an incredible athlete. And then through a series of events, she actually ends up training a really stubborn football player and playing football herself. A fabulous read, a great sports story, a little romance involved too. I haven't met anybody who didn't love this book, Dairy Queen by Murdoch. Last but not least, Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez. This book involves Will and Ollie, who have just had a fantastic summer fling. These two guys have found what they think is their happily ever after, a great relationship together, until summer vacation ends and Will stops texting Ollie back. Well, Ollie is completely confused. He thought that this guy was the right fit for him. Ollie ends up heading off to a new school across the country. Turns out it's the same school that Will goes to. What luck. This is great. They can reconnect. He can find out why Will stopped texting him. Except Ollie finds out that Will at this school is this class clown, kind of a jerk, and completely closeted. This guy is not out at all at his school. He acts like he's into girls and everything, and Ollie knows that's not the case at all. What is going to happen in this story when Ollie knows exactly what Will was like this summer? He knows that Will is the guy for him, but how's this relationship going to turn out now that they are in the same school together and Will is acting completely differently? Perfect, romance, especially now that somebody's acting, totally differently than they were before. Check this one out, Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez. A lot of fun. I hope that one of the books I shared today sounded like a good one to you, or if it did and it's checked out, I'd recommend you go back to those collection buttons I mentioned, the Overcoming Obstacles button, the LGBTQ plus button, or ask for a recommendation. We have ordered, I think, over 100 brand new books for the library just this spring. And we have a ton of them up on our shelves, so when you come down, I'll point you in the direction of a lot of those new books, and we'd love for you to use these last few weeks of school to check out something great. Thanks for your attention. Happy reading.